You come.
All right, everybody, welcome. It is Wednesday night football roundtable from the Couch Sports Talk Radio. It is Super Bowl preview, and we will be also going over our preseason predictions by team to see how close we were.
Yep.
David, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Yeah, this is going to be an all-over show because we're going to be doing some of our preseason picks, see how close we came. We're going to be previewing the Super Bowl, blah, as you see, Super Sunday, blah, and maybe even touch on some off-season news and some news from around about guys like Myles Garrett, who requested a trade, maybe some Max Crosby news, some other good stuff. Maybe start to push our focus like we do right after the season to what the offseason can bring. So
yeah,
going to have an all-around show, but it's going to be a good one. Hopefully, right. JD, Jeffrey might be on. Eric's probably going to join us by mobile later. He's off busy doing his thing. So.
All right. Well, do we want to start off with some of the off-season news and see if other people come on so we can talk about the Super Bowl, or do you want to jump into predictions?
Oh, we can talk some off-season stuff. Yeah. Cooper Kupp, man. Hey.
That shocked me.
It didn't shock me so much. I mean, look, the fact is, with Matthew Stafford saying that he wanted to come back, the money that they're going to have to pay him. You got Puka Nacua, who's basically the number one guy. Kupp's been injured. He's played 33 games over the last, 3 seasons? So, again, I understand that money being what it is. I think the biggest thing, and the Rams are going to have to face the reality that they're going to have to eat some of that contract. I mean, they're going to have to facilitate his movement to another team because between Kupp's age and the fact that I think he's like $23 million or something this year, that the Rams are going to have to definitely eat a portion of that contract, depending on how much is going to be dependent on the return they get. The more they eat, the better the pick. So again,
any ideas on where Kupp will go?
I mean, you can go down the list of teams who could use a wide receiver. We can start with Pittsburgh, obviously. Problem with Pittsburgh, is they have to get their quarterback situation figured out because before any wide receiver or a team like Pittsburgh who has money, don't get me wrong, they have money. But again, you're talking about a team that their quarterback situation is in limbo, so they're going to have to deal with that. You can look at New England. New England would be not a bad, obvious situation. They have a young quarterback with young wide receivers. You bring in a guy like Cooper Kupp who can help the young quarterback, and they have a ton of money to spend. But again, you got to look at what organization makes the most sense. To me, I think an organization, especially with Cooper Kupp in the years he's put in the league and the years he probably has left. I think if he has any say in where he goes, I'm sure he's going to want to go to a team that can contend. I don't think he wants to go to a team that's 2, 3, 4 years away. You know what I mean? I think he would rather or prefer, if he's going to finish out his career, he'd probably want to go to a team that he has an opportunity to win something before, his career is over. So again, you look at the obvious contenders, Baltimore, they might need a wide receiver to go along with, Zay Flowers. Buffalo needing a veteran wide receiver. Kansas City, obviously. They could use another wide receiver opposite Xavier Worthy. DeAndre Hopkins is getting older and slow. Again, anytime a quarterback like a Patrick Mahomes has Cooper Kupp, it would make him that much more dangerous. But again, I'd have to look at all these team salary situations, their structures, what they have, what their contracts look like, what they have coming up, and again, a team like Kansas City, a team, picking between, 27 and 32. Okay. You can give up a second or a third round pick at that point, and it's not going to hurt you so much because you're already picking at the bottom of that round. So, again, it's just dependent on, number one, what the Rams are going to ask, how much they're going to keep, and really what Cooper Kupp wants to do. And I think because they came out and said right away that they were going to trade him, I'm sure that they're going to try to facilitate to make Cooper Kupp happy. You know what I mean? I don't think they're just going to trade him just to trade him. So.
Okay, well, it kind of boggles my mind a little bit because the Rams are not a bad team.
No.
And they're only going to get better. Matt Stafford's coming back. I understand Puka Nakua's come out, but I think that helped Cooper Kupp. Yes, he has been injury plagued the last couple of years. He's already won a Super Bowl. So it's not like he's freaking out like, I got to win one. He's already won one. I don't understand this move at this point by him or the organization, why he would want to leave, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, Sean, let's be realistic. I mean, the fact is you got players on the Rams who have to get paid. And, you have you have a rising star in Nakua. You have DeMarcus. Is it DeMarcus Robinson? Is that who the other wide receiver? I think it's DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah.
You're gonna be drafting in like 24, 25, somewhere in that area. I forget where it is. And there's going to be young wide receivers, as we see time and again throughout these drafts, that there are young wide receivers that are decent. So when you look at that position on the team, I can go cheaper and younger. And like I said, with the health of Cooper Kupp over the last couple of years, the durability factor becomes an issue. And is it worth the money to pay for a guy who's not, who's not durable? And again, so I think that drives the price down, and the fact that he's worth $23 million against the cap, I think that also drives. And so I think the Rams are they understand they have to get younger, and this is their opportunity because at least Kupp is still productive. I just think the offense has gone in a different direction. And so it's just kind of hedging your losses. That's just how I look at it.
All right. And next is the Myles Garrett thing. That does not surprise me at all. As far as him going to be a Lion, that's possible. It's possible. But I want to I heard this the other day, and it kind of really made a lot of sense. There is one team out there with a number of draft picks, including first rounders, and lots of money. And that place is the Philadelphia Eagles. That is, if he was to go there, that would scare the hell out of me. And let's welcome in Eric.
Hey. So I've got my phone. I've got the jankiest phone charger, and it's about to ice storm here. So I am not going to be. We're going to be working this out for a minute. But I wanted to come on here and have this conversation with you. Dave, I love you to death. Okay, I listen to you all the time. Biggest fan on the chat, biggest fan on the show. I love listening to you. So I just want to say something to you real quick. First of all, your Dell computer sucks.
Yeah.
Secondly, this whole idea that I'm going to go to where I can win the championship and that's how I decide every contract doesn't happen. So these guys want paid, and at the end of the day, them getting paid and getting the best situation to get paid and continue to showcase their skills so they can get paid is probably the most ideal circumstance. So he'll go where he can probably play and make a big impact so he can sign another contract.
Well,
Right?
can I just say one thing, Eric? And you're right. I do understand that, and I get that. And it might be the case in Cup's situation. But here's the only thing I'll say. Cup is getting paid this year anyway. I mean, he's getting $23 million, whether he's a Ram or not. He's getting that money. So it's not a question of getting paid. It's a question of what team is going to eat that money.
Well, getting paid beyond this year, though. So
Right.
looking at long-term financial health, right?
So again, I think the problem with any team that's going to trade for Cup, it's going to be based on the durability factor. Again, he's played in 33 games over the last 3 seasons. So I don't care. He might want to get paid. Anybody wants to get paid. But if you're going to go to a new team, they are going to want to see your durability issues be a thing of the past. They're not going to just, and you're right. For Cooper Kupp, send me to Jacksonville if they're going to pay me $40 million. I don't care. Sure, I get it. But I think any team outside of Cleveland, who's probably going to trade Myles Garrett for Justin Tucker straight up, because why not have another couple massage therapist things going on? Just kidding. But in seriousness, I think any team that would trade him with his durability issues and give him a large contract would be malpractice for that organization to do that. Because again, if you're going to come here, I want to see you be durable. I want to see you play 17 games. I want to see that you can do that. And then fine. Because the guy, 3 years removed from 124 catch season or whatever, leading the league 1,500 yards. I mean, he hasn't lost his skill set. It's just the durability of him that needs to be proven back to the NFL, people.
Okay, I'm going to go to KD in a second. All I can say is from the angle of this camera, Eric, if you start straddling your camera and showing us your old man balls, you will forever be.
Listen. So Bailey is using my laptop for schoolwork because his iPad's been taken and misplaced somewhere in the school. So Bailey's got my laptop and I've got the jankiest phone charger at the moment, so it's going to die at any moment. So ideally.
At least he didn't come on the show dressed like Kanye's girlfriend. That would have been really scary.
But I just want to say before this dies, I hope Kenny Pickett wins for the chat, and I hope he plays, and I hope Hurts gets hurt. And not that they want anybody to get hurt, but Kenny Pickett comes in and throws 3 touchdowns because God Almighty, that chat's going to be lit. It will be lit on Sunday because that's the only way I'm going to be interested in the game otherwise.
Hey, that might suck him off another team, but you used to it.
If he threw 3 touchdowns, he'd have to go to like 7 Super Bowls to do that.
I know, to be honest with you, that would be like 5 games. So that would be awesome.
Oh, and one more thing, and I'm going to let Katie talk. Katie, just when you come on, turn up your microphone a little bit because you're quiet. So, but I got one more thing to tell you, man. I just got one more thing to say to everybody out there because we do have an internal chat. But I just want you to know how proud that Eric was to share with the group that Chris Boswell had 158 field goal points this year. I mean, he's already looking to fantasy football next year. He's got his number 1 draft pick locked. And when your kicker scores 158 and then your team itself has a total offensive output of 222 points, it's fantastic.
Hey, he's the top scorer in the league.
Yeah,
so
I know.
KD's mad over here that his guy's over there getting massages and getting
How
played with.
explain how I'm mad that you're trying to project a kicker onto us. Explain.
Because your guy used to be the guy. Now your guy's just
I've never
Sean
posted
Watson wannabe.
in the 3 years I've been in the chat. Justin Tucker has never fucking been mentioned by me.
Oh, bro, I'm not. That's not true. I can find. Is there a way we could search a name?
Absolutely.
Again, Justin Tucker has been a clutch kicker. This year he had a down year. Obviously, it happens. Kickers go through a spell, but
I don't know. It seemed like his year is kind of up to me.
But
So before I go, because I'm gonna listen in and I'm gonna try to get my charger to work, and I don't want you watch you guys fuck with the charger all night. Hey, listen, officially got named onto the varsity staff today. Very happy day, very proud day. Signed the contract, up in the big boys league. So, I've been working really hard. I appreciate that, but I just want to share that with you guys. So when we have off-season stuff, maybe we can do some coaches' corner stuff, KD, and we can talk some, high school football.
Long as you don't come with your dumb shit.
Oh, come on. Our high school chats are awesome when we talk about
we're gonna just do cornerback blitzes every play.
Oh, bro, why not?
Let's everyone remember that it only took Eric to get to 38 years old to finally get on a varsity team.
Hell yeah.
Can we just say, Pioli, you are in the chat, so you're here. We see you.
Eric can't read.
Can we let's invite him to the I bet he'd have fun on that chat with us.
Oh dear God. No. Look, if you guys would stick to the internal chat, not the business chat.
Yeah, I blame Jeff on that one.
You're all killing me.
Hey, I'm gonna do Sean a favor. Sean, I'll stop typing in there. I'll stop it.
Thank you.
I'll stop it. I'll try and force them back over.
I'll move over because I love giving
Katie. If you do, I will add it to my Black History.
Hey, Warriors got Jimmy Butler. You guys see that from the Heat?
Did they?
What?
Yeah. Well, I know we're not NBA guys, but Jimmy Butler just got traded to the Warriors here.
Yeah, Kevin Durant might be on his way out in Phoenix.
Anyways.
All I know is that the Phoenix Suns need to keep playing their games at 6:00 or 8:00. So Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy come on earlier because when I have dinner with my dad, I gotta watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and I gotta wait till like 8:00 to go home. My bedtime's 8:30. I'm like, damn man, get that shit out early so I can watch that shit with you and get the hell out of there. Anyway.
All right, guys. Peace out. I'm gonna listen in.
All right.
All righty.
So, KD, what are your feelings on Myles Garrett requesting that trade, and where do you think he's going to go?
I absolutely understand. I love it for being an AFC North guy. But I think he's going to be in a rock and a hard place because I don't see Cleveland saying, hey, we're going to lowball ourselves to get him gone. I think he's too much of a professional to really pound the desk and say, I really want out of here. I'm going to go start doing random podcasts and talking about the internal stuff here. So I don't think he's that type of player. So I could see the Browns playing hardball with a couple of teams, probably not all of them, but certain teams, especially the ones in the AFC North. Because people were talking about the Bengals if they lose Trey Henderson. People were talking about the Ravens, and I'm like, look, stop that nonsense.
Never happened.
That dude,
he will never go to an AFC.
Ravens could be like, hey, look, I'm gonna give you Lamar, Andrews, and Derrick Henry, and they'll be like, no, we're just not doing this. Because it's just one of those things. I don't think they want to say, okay, look, let me speed up the opportunity for them to be in real Super Bowl contention. I just don't think they want to do that, especially somebody in the AFC North. I do think Washington will probably be the team that I'm looking forward to. Reason why I say that is because they have the money for it, and then they also have a little bit of a need for it. They have the internal defensive alignment or interior D lineman, but they don't have the edge rushers. So I think if Washington really makes a push for it, I think Washington would be a team to watch. People keep talking about Philly, but Philly going to have to start paying people. So if Philly start paying people, that means you're going to force some of those players that you got on your team currently right now out of the door. And I don't know if they want to force all of them out of the door. Particularly if Jalen Carter keep playing the way he's playing, he got to get paid. He's going to have to get paid. Now, the good part about it is that position is not a premium position. So it's interior D lineman, hey, he can get something and he'll be okay. The next thing is if Jalen Hurts wins this Super Bowl in a few days, it's going to be payday time for him too at some point. Because I think he got an extension, but I don't think he got his mega payday just yet. So
now was this Jalen Carter's second year?
Yeah.
And he was a first round pick, late first rounder?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah,
he was second pick, first round. He was like 29.
So, I mean, the good thing about a lot of these young Philly D linemen, Jalen Carter, who's the other one they got?
Nolan Smith.
Yeah. The fact that those guys are truly locked into that team for another 3 years, if you want to do the 5 years and then give them the franchise tag type of thing. I mean, they can do that and avoid the huge payday. But again, the problem with the franchise tag is if you're going to pay them a franchise tag and the average is, let's just say, $25 million, that's $25 million off your cap right away. There's no bonus. There's no nothing. So, they do have
the fictitious cap or the real cap,
and they do have time to work with that because you got to remember Myles Garrett's only on a franchise tag. There is no workaround. The franchise tag is if you franchise tag him for $25 million and he signs that's $25 million. So that there's no workaround. The thing about the good thing is that they did trade Myles Garrett to Philadelphia. Myles Garrett has 2 years left on his contract, which means whatever they take this year, they could always extend Myles Garrett out to lessen his cap over a longer period of time to fit those guys in. So there is workable room with a Myles Garrett once you trade for him and extend him. You can finagle money that way. So, I mean, that would be interesting. That would be insane because then Philadelphia would be set. But again, I think the biggest problem for Myles Garrett or Cleveland in any scenario, I mean, I just watched an interview with Rich Eisen and Myles Garrett. So Myles Garrett's already talked to Andrew Berry. He's already talked to them in the offseason about the way he feels about things. Barry came out and said, we're not trading him. So the offer that you are going to have to give to even for them to begin, you're talking about this guy wants to go to a contender and win a championship. And Cleveland is probably looking at teams that are in the top 5 in draft choices because you're going to want to get a number one, and be in the upper tier of the number ones. You're not going to trade a 28th round for 28 pick number one, a 29 pick or 30 pick or 32 pick number one the following year, a 28, 29, 30 first round pick the year after. So again, I think it's just where Myles Garrett wants to be and what Cleveland wants in return, unless they're getting players back as well. I think it's going to be a tough situation. But I know he doesn't want to be there. And I don't know how they feel about having people who don't want to be in Cleveland continue to play in Cleveland. Are you going to get your best Myles Garrett? I guess that's what I would worry about.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Paley, and you were correct. They got him on a 9th pick on the first round, and they got Nolan Smith at the end of the first round, which was, in my opinion, a solid pick. If Garrett did go to Philly, wow. I mean, wow. again, we don't know where it could end up.
I mean, they talk about Detroit. I don't know.
Yeah, there's talks, and it's tough. The thing is, it's all kind of going to depend on what does Tennessee do with pick 1. Because they need a quarterback, but I'm not sure they're going to go quarterback. But
they'll go quarterback.
I don't know, man. That kid from Penn State, the defensive end is amazing.
They're not gonna go quarterback. They sent Will Levis off to a quarterback specialist. If they go quarterback, that would be great. Hey,
quarterback specialist?
Yeah, like what the fuck does that mean?
Hey, we sent you to this quarterback specialist, but hey, we're gonna take a guy.
Well, he's getting coached by Jordan Palmer this offseason. So that's what he's doing. He's going to the Jordan Palmer school. I mean, look at Josh Allen goes every year. Josh Allen did it after his rookie year. He went to Jordan Palmer's thing. So, I mean, there are benefits to doing that. And I'm not talking about Josh Allen. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks who've gone to Jordan Palmer and the thing is, the one thing is, if a quarterback realizes that he needs work on mechanics, whatever, it's a good thing. I mean, you understand that as a quarterback yourself, that you need to get better at what you're doing. And you need to understand where your mistakes are and the things that you're doing wrong, whether it could be a technique, it could be you know what I mean? So again, I think that in itself is a good thing when you as a quarterback notice the things that you have to improve upon to have sustained success in this league. So I think that's always a good thing. Hey, Katie, let me ask you a question because you weren't here. Cooper Kupp situation. Basically, the Rams came out and said they are going to try to trade him immediately, or whatever immediately is, probably before the 5th day of the league year in March or whenever that starts. Where do you think a guy like Cooper Kupp would end up or would be a good fit for him?
Would be a good fit. I wouldn't mind him in depending on what Minnesota quarterback situation look like. I wouldn't mind him there. New England, wouldn't mind seeing him what he could do there. And the reason why I wouldn't mind him with New England because he kind of give me a little bit of New England Patriot technician type of feel. Let's see. Depend on what Miami situation would be. I would like to see what that could shake out to be. Let's see.
What about a Tyreek for Cooper Kupp? Switch.
That ain't gonna happen.
No.
Let me ask you this because I just thought of this and I didn't think about it earlier. And let me ask your opinion. What about a team that loses a wide receiver? Let's say if T. Higgins goes in free agency, would that be a fit in Cincinnati?
No, because they got him already. They got Jermaine Burton.
Wouldn't Jermaine Burton fill in the number 2 role?
Yeah, and then you got Ilyasova.
Would you?
Jamar Chase is in the number 1 role
right
there.
Yeah. Would you feel based on what Cincinnati can do offensively, what Joe Burrow can do, having a guy like a Cooper Kupp on that team to take care of the underneath routes and just being that possession guy?
You had that already.
But I don't know.
The two guys I just named. Jermaine Burton and Ilyasova, those 2 guys are the short intermediate route technician. And Chase is it's a slot or it's a deep pass that I need to throw it to. T. Higgins is my jump ball guy. Hey, 3rd and 8 miles away, I'm gonna throw it up to T. Higgins.
What about a team like Kansas City?
Oh, of course, any receiver would fit in with Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Any receiver. So shoot, I mean, if you didn't have Shakir, I would say you guys. Matter of fact, you almost still can make the case for it. Because you can go 4 wide receivers and you can have a technician on each side and a deep ball threat on each side, or a deep ball threat and then the short yardage guy.
Yeah.
So you got Cooper. It's hard for Cooper Kupp not to fit in anywhere unless he's by himself. That's what I would say.
I mean, in all honesty, I think the best fit would be, but to me, the best fit based on the need of a team would be a Pittsburgh team, because they need something explosive or another playmaker. The only issue I have with Pittsburgh is their quarterback position is not set. And until I know who they're going to, whether it's going to be Russell Wilson coming back or if they're going to go forward with Justin Fields, or if they're going to draft a quarterback, I can't. If I'm Pittsburgh sitting there today, I can't say, okay, I'm going to bring in Cooper Kupp. I'm going to give up draft picks to bring in Cooper Kupp, because I don't know what my quarterback situation is yet. And I think that's the hardest part at this point in Pittsburgh.
Well, not just the quarterback, schematically too.
Mm-hmm.
They got to scheme things open a little bit better, because part of the issue with the Steelers is acquiring people late in the season, and when you acquire people late in the season, you don't get to kind of see what people's skill sets are, or people coming back from injury and whatnot. So when you have that, like, hey, okay, I got this guy, I don't know what this guy can do, so I'm supposed to have some routes for him when we need it to call upon it, and I'm not able to do that because I don't know if the guy can really run, or I don't know if the guy can really get separation. Right. His college tape is good.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's go on to the Super Bowl talk. We did a half hour on outside the Super Bowl, and
wrestling came over. Doesn't matter.
Hey, Eric, just so you know, Jordan Palmer class is not filled up. His quarterback class. He got 2 more spots for both of your quarterbacks.
All right. So, all righty. So we got Super Bowl 59. We got the Kansas City Chiefs, who are favored by 1 point over the Philadelphia Eagles. This is pretty straight match game. I guess you got to favor.
I'm sorry, this is not a straight match game. In all reality, it's going to be 19 versus 11. But no, I'm not getting into the ref conspiracy. I'm just kidding. All kidding aside, Philadelphia should handle this game easy.
Well, my only problem is that they are going to shut down the run, and got to focus on Jalen Hurts, not letting him out of the pocket. And the one thing I can say about an Andy Reid defense is, well, Steve Spagnuolo defense, they're usually very disciplined. Josh Allen didn't have a lot of crazy runs because they were doing what they needed to do. If you force Jalen Hurts to pass in order to make up ground, you pretty much got the game won. He can pass the ball. He throws some all right passes, but he makes some terrible throws. He holds the ball too long. He doesn't take that open receiver, the easy 8 yards, boom, pop. He's looking for something else. I think I know you. I can see either team winning this game, and I'm not saying that Kansas City I think is going to win because they are so much a better team. They just do know how to win. And I take the experience, and that to me, that's why I'm picking Kansas City.
I look at it this way. The last time these two teams, and I know they're different teams, and I get all that, and I don't like to go back, but look at, in all honesty, the last time they played in the Super Bowl, they won on the most innocuous phantom pass interference call I ever saw in my life. against James Bradbury, where the guy ran and he had put his hand like this on his back. He didn't grab him, didn't touch him really. He just like went like this as the guy went around him, and they called pass interference. And you know, what I really hope for in this game is that there isn't a stupid call that can add more questioning to the officials. Okay, if the Chiefs win this game and they win it clean, and there isn't any this call, that call, whatever, I'm cool. If it's going to come down to, you know, the back judge spotted the ball here and the front judge who was looking at the ball had it here, and they went with the guy who couldn't see the ball and where it was in a proximity to the line gets the call. Okay, when to me that's ridiculous. But that being said, I cannot after all year, if this game comes down to crap referee calls, no matter who wins this game, it's going to be that's going to overshadow everything. But I personally feel that if Kansas City gears up to stop the run, Hurts can beat him in the past, because I don't think Kansas City secondary is that great. I mean, they're good, but they ain't that great. I mean, Trent McDuffie's good, but Trent McDuffie can get beat. And you got 3-4 weapons in the pass game you can use. And, you know, hopefully Sirianni and the offense comes up with a game plan to counter Spagnuolo's defense to try to stop the run, which could in turn start with the pass, open up the run. And again, it's a two-headed monster in Philly. You don't know which way to go. It's going to be tough. KD, what do you got?
Oh, wait, before KD goes, I'm going to hit you in a second, KD. Sorry. I know people don't want us talking about the Super Bowl. Amoroso, he's one of our most loyal fans. I'm like, well, we're a football show. We kind of do this. And he just laughed. And I'm like,
can I just answer this question? No, they did not. That's satire on NFL memes. No NFL refs crews got suspended. No NFL refs got suspended. They don't suspend NFL refs. They will defend the refs until the end, and I'm not blaming the refs for anything against Buffalo and Kansas City. At the end of the day, it came down to poor game plan and poor execution. Had nothing to do with the refs.
All right. So thank you for letting me zip there. KD, I'm sorry if I stopped your flow, but this game, what are your thoughts?
Nope, you'll never stop my flow. I'm good. I'll be okay. So for me, I think there's going to have to be some unsung heroes for Philly. First off, it's going to be who's going to play the linebackers, who's going to step up in the absence of Nakobe Dean. I know they put, I think it's Bream or something like that. They put him out there, and he did well. And not going to take anything away from him. If he can continue to play how he's been playing in the last playoff game, I got it. It's a different team going against Kansas City. But if he can come down and show that, hey, I'm not the cherry on the defense, so you're not going to be able to just get what you want to get day in and day out, or drive in and drive out. The key to it all is going to be the interior O-line for Kansas City and interior D-line for Philadelphia. If you allow Jalen Carter and what's his name again, Davis, if you allow those two guys to influence the line of scrimmage and move Patrick Mahomes and have him run, I think that bodes well for Philly. The reason why I say it bodes well for Philly, because they have the secondary to keep up with the Kansas City wide receivers. They have the linebacker core that can keep up with them and whatnot. And I think they can rally to the ball. And I think they would live. Burks, there you go. I knew it was somewhat to be. But yeah, if you can get him to run the ball, I think Philly will rally to the ball. Their defense is faster than most defenses, so they can rally to the ball. And I think they can live with a 4-yard gain and a hit on Patrick Mahomes when they need to do it. For Kansas City, the big playability going to have to be taken away early, because you can't let Xavier Worthy get going. whether it be jet sweeps, whether it be wheel routes on linebackers or whatever it may be, you got to make sure you bottle those big playabilities up. Because him and Hollywood Brown, yeah, they may not be the biggest receivers, but they can definitely hurt you really, really quick if you don't play sound defense. So I'm really looking forward to the matchup in the interior O-line and D-line, because I think that's what's going to shapeshift this particular game. I don't see them stopping Saquon whatsoever. The reason why I say I don't see them stopping him, because they can dump it off to him. So if you stop me actually running inside, outside, or whatever it may be, I'm gonna dump it off to him. He's on the linebacker, and if they do Chenal like they've been doing Chenal, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see those guys trying to run with Saquon.
What I think is I think KC's got to get their running game going. I think Pacheco coming back, I think he's really got to be an important part of the game plan. Even if it's swing passes or whatever, because he's explosive, he gets outside, and he's fast. And since he's been back from that injury, he hasn't been the explosive Pacheco that they need him to be. I mean, Kareem Hunt is good, but Pacheco gives them a different element in the run game, and he's got to be back. They've got to be able to run the ball. Like Katie said, Kansas City has to be able to control the line of scrimmage. If Patrick Mahomes is going to be pressured, if the pocket's going to collapse, you got Zach Bond, the linebacker, coming in on the outside. That guy's probably he should be. If he's not, he should have been a first-team All-Pro this year, because the guy's just played absolutely out of his mind. He's just phenomenal. He's a phenomenal linebacker. And when I look at the secondary of the Eagles, they're on lock. Their secondary, lights out. Again, and to Katie's point, it's minimizing the threat of a Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown with their speed. If Mahomes can't get comfortable in the pocket, you don't get the time to develop those long passing plays that can, stretch out the defense. So, it's going to be go ahead.
I'll tell you one thing too. Hey, Paoli, don't be shocked if Johnny Wilson, the 6'5" or 6'6" wide receiver from Florida State, comes in and makes a play in this game. Don't be surprised.
And another thing for Philly, I think another aspect outside of Saquon is Kenneth Gainwell's ability to, change the pace and come in and be that swing pass guy and be that guy that can hit the hole quick and get the yards needed. So I think, again, when I look at the Philadelphia team as a whole, I just think they're a more complete football team than Kansas City, if I'm basing it on skill through skill all the way around. But I never underestimate Patrick Mahomes. Philly's got to come out and they got to execute their game plan. Execution is going to be key in this game. And for the last two Super Bowls, Andy Reid has had his team focused and they execute. Spagnuolo's defense, Andy Reid's offense, and they don't get rattled. They even though it's the Super Bowl and even though they could be down and this and that, they don't get rattled. They're consistent and they keep at doing what they're doing. So experience is going to be key in this game as well. So Kansas City's been there. This will be the third time in a row. They've been there. They don't get rattled. So we'll see.
All right, one thing I'm going to say is about the Super Bowl is I understand the last bunch of Super Bowls, everyone's been like, I don't care. I will say, though, the last bunch of Super Bowls have been very, very competitive, very close, one score or less, overtime. Number one. Number two, penalties do not get called as often in a Super Bowl. Holding penalties don't get called. A lot of pass interference don't get called unless it's egregious. So they do let the players play in the Super Bowl. So we got, everyone bitching about the refs. Take a look. If there's a touch foul that ends up at the last play of the game, which gives Kansas City a chance to kick a field goal, then you can go on with the conspiracy theories. I am looking for this to be a great game. And this isn't like, the days where the Cowboys were playing the Bills and it was 52-0. And we're talking, this is a real Super Bowl here.
Well,
Anyway, with that being said, we're going to get off the Super Bowl and let's go through some of the preseason predictions, which unfortunately, KD, you did not have a lot of them. So,
you can make up your records as you go along, KD. Just tell us what you thought it was going to be.
Well, I can tell you for sure. I can tell you for sure. I had Cleveland fourth in the AFC North.
That might have been one of the ones you did, actually. Yeah, I think that was like the one.
Jeffrey had him first, and he didn't even pick.
Yeah, and I think I was so drunk on this one, I can't tell if that's a 3 or I thought I meant to put E for Eric.
That's
but
probably
I may have written it backwards.
That's a backwards E.
Yeah,
you're a dyslexic drunk.
Yeah, so we're gonna work out. We're gonna go to the AFC West first. And David, you had predicted the Broncos to go 6-11.
Yep.
And they actually went 10-7. So we're too close on that one, but not bad. I mean, who the hell? I don't think anyone expected Denver to be who they were.
Sure.
And then you also said that the Chiefs are going to be 10-7. They were 15-1.
15
backwards E had the Chargers at 7-10, and they were 11-6. So 5 games off there, or 4 games off. And then Eric also had the Raiders at 9-8, and they were 4-13. So nobody really did great on the AFC West.
Well, nobody expected the Chiefs to be 15-2.
Yeah, I did not expect that at all. So then we go to the AFC South. And David, you said oh crap, I didn't add them up, man. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you had the Titans being 6-11, and they were 3-14. Not too bad. Eric did the Colts. He had them at 5-12, and they were 8-9. Not too bad. I mean, realize that these are
preseason picks.
Preseason, you didn't know how injuries were going to happen, whatever. Then Eric had the Houston Texans at 10-7, and they were 10-7.
Good job.
And then unfortunately the Jaguars, I printed out the wrong one, so it was for 23-24 instead of 24-25.
Just could have wrote sucked at the top, and that would have been good.
Yeah. You had them the first 4 weeks, but they didn't play these teams. You had them 3-1. And yeah.
I think 3 games all year.
Yep. They won 4.
Okay, see.
Okay, so Eric had the Steelers at 11-6, and they were 10-7. Surprised the hell out of me, especially with that schedule. Although he did have them winning the last 3 games at Baltimore.
He could have been right, except they collapsed after the last 7 weeks.
Yeah, he could have been way low on that. But
we all know the Steelers.
Yeah, they were 10-7 anyway. David, you had the Bengals at 11-6, and they were 9-8. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Eric had the Ravens at 10-7, and they were 12-5. And that's right, KD. You were not on for any of these. And then David, for Cleveland, you had them at 9-8, and they were 3-14.
I was being optimistic. I was just trying to do that so that they beat Pittsburgh twice, and Pittsburgh would have been shit. So,
yes, did you do that? Where's Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh.
I think I had them beat twice.
You had them winning at Pittsburgh at home, so you got that one right.
Mhm.
And then you had them losing at Pittsburgh. You got them both right.
Oh, see, how the hell did I get 9 wins from Cleveland? Jesus, I must have talked to Jeff right before the show. He must have convinced me.
Yeah, I mean, because you had them beating Miami, and they beat Miami. They lost to Baltimore. They lost to Cincy. Lost to KC. I mean, like,
Drank that Jeffrey Kool-Aid. That's what I did.
yeah,
Oh, bitch.
weird.
I know.
Okay, so then we go to AFC East, and Eric had the New York Jets at 14-3 and going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they ended up 5-12, and then Eric had the Dolphins at 8-9, and the Dolphins were 8-9.
Yeah.
So he bombed on one, did great on the other. David, you had the Patriots at 4-13. They're 5-12. Nice job. And then the Buffalo Bills, David, you had them 13-4, and they were 13-4.
There you go. I know my team.
Eric had them at 9-8.
Yep.
All right, then.
Hey, it's safe to say we can give Eric one of these.
Okay, so the NFC East, Paoli had the Eagles at 13-4, and they were 14-3. So darn close. Eric, David, you had them at 11-6. So a little bit off.
Yep.
Oh dear God. Eric had the Giants at 10-7. Wow. And they were 3-14. David, you had the Commanders at 6-11, and they were 12-5.
Yeah. Nobody saw Jaden Daniels coming. That's all I can say.
Nobody saw that happening. And Eric had the Cowboys at 7-10, and they were 7-10. All right, then we had the going to the North now, NFC North. Eric had the Vikings at 9-8.
What?
And they were 14-3.
What?
And oh God, I don't know who was the second one. I think it was David. You had him at 4-13.
What?
What? Well, again, I didn't. Well, I think when we picked this, I had him starting J.J. McCarthy.
What?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I know that Bailey had him at 17-0 going to the Super Bowl and winning it. Eric did predict by week 8, J.J. McCarthy would have started.
Yeah. What? Come on, give it.
What?
So then we have the Bears, and Eric had the Bears at 8-9, and the Bears were 5-12.
Denied.
David, you had the Green Bay Packers at 11-6, and they were 11-6. Nice.
Ding, 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 ding. Come on, give me the good old hell yeah, boy.
Oh, damn it. Hit the wrong one. Oh, well. All right. So then Jeffrey did the Lions, and he had them at 12-5, and they were 15-2. So not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to the West. And David, you had the Seahawks at 7-10, and they were 10-7. The 49ers, Eric had it 10-7. They were 6-11. The Rams, David, you had them at 9-8, and they were 10-7. Damn close. And then the Cardinals, Eric had it 2-15, and they were 6-11. I mean, I'm sorry, they were 8-9. Is it just me, or did the Cardinals seem like the
The
2.
Cardinals were in playoff contention until week 15.
Yeah.
So,
And then we did do the South. We ran out of time.
yeah.
But not bad. I mean, not knowing anything within a couple games and a couple of them straight on. Good going, guys.
So, KD, I got a question for you because I have this up here and I'm going to ask you because we've talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers, their quarterback situation. I know that you've given a name before of who you think would be good, and I don't know that guy per se. And again, knowing it, let's just say Pittsburgh isn't going to sign Justin Fields for $25 million or whatever he's going to have to cost, and they don't bring Russell Wilson back. Out of the top 10 quarterback, I got the top 10 right up here, or the top 12. So I got Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Quinn Ewers, whatever, I don't know, Jalen Milroe, Riley Leonard, Kyle McCord, Dylan Gabriel, Will Howard, Curtis Rourke, Tyler Show, and Donovan Smith. If Pittsburgh decides that they're going to go quarterback in round 1, which I don't think they do. It's really not them. I think they feel they got burned trying to do that with Kenny Pickett reaching for a quarterback. But if they do, out of those quarterbacks, and we know Sanders and probably Dart and Ward will probably be gone early, which one of those quarterbacks would fit what Pittsburgh does?
Neither.
None of them?
If I'm them, if I got to take a quarterback, I'm going to take Donovan Smith from University of Houston.
Okay.
Here's my thing, right? What Pittsburgh needs is going to require a guy that can kind of, hey, look, I can take over the game as it comes to me. I have the running element if I need to run, but for the most part, I don't want to go out and be a Peyton Manning in the Pittsburgh type of offense. Like they win ugly, right? Already. So when it comes down to this, right? You know how I love to tell people, the 15 to 25 passes. I love to tell people that. You may even look at lesser than that, right? We probably looking at, anywhere from 10 to 13 passes just to keep the defense honest on offense when they're on offense. Because at the end of the day, they don't have the horses to go out and threaten the defense vertically, right? They don't. Until they get the horses to do that, then and only then will I worry about, hey, having a guy that can throw the ball 45 times or 40 times or going to go throw for 300 yards passing and whatnot. Because what's going to happen if you draft a guy like that and then you still have the offensive line issues that you have, this is what's going to happen. You're going to ruin that guy, and then you're still not going to have a quarterback for the future. Mm-hmm. So they got to sit here and be real meticulous about who they want to bring into their quarterback room. Even if they keep one of them, they got to still find a serviceable backup to say, okay, look, who can I groom to get into this next level? If Justin Fields is not our guy 2 years from now, who's going to be the next guy? Because yeah, you can say I want this guy. You could say I put this guy in there, but those guys running 4.8 and 4.9, that's lineman speed. People gonna kill them in the AFC North. They got to be able to move a little bit faster than that.
And one more question: if I look at Pittsburgh and we understand that if Najee Harris don't come back, obviously they're going to need they're going to need a running back to be able to do that with any quarterback they have, whoever it is, whether they keep him or not. So,
before you even get to talking, Travion Henderson from Ohio State.
Are you talking about drafting? I'm talking about if a free agent
Oh, I'm talking about drafting. Damn a free agent. Damn a free agent. I want to draft this guy and allow him to be the complement to Warren. Because now I got some speed in both of my backs, but one guy is one cut and he's out of there with Henderson. But the thing about it, did Pittsburgh value him like that?
Right. Well, and that's my thing is, you know, when you look at a team like Pittsburgh, who again, they rely on a defense and a strong running game to make their offense go. Is that running back worthy of a first round pick if he's there? Which he should be there.
I mean, okay. Obviously, you're not going to get the Alshon Gentry. Obviously, you know that. You're not going to get the Connor from North Carolina. You're not going to get those guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if something crazy goes on and they're still on the board, and why not? It's a need. If I know for a fact I'm not bringing back Najee Harris, why would I not take one of the better running backs?
Right.
That would be foolish. That would be foolish of them.
Right. No, I get that. But we know Pittsburgh's pension. And again, my thing with Pittsburgh, and I think this is their biggest dilemma, their defensive line. I don't think they need a wide receiver in round one unless their quarterback. And again, we understand that the wide receiver or the free agency comes before the draft and all them questions could be answered. But I think Pittsburgh would be foolish to draft a wide receiver in round one, just based on their need. I mean, I know they need a playmaker outside of Pickens. But that is not how their offense is built. But more importantly, their defense is getting old. Their defensive line is old. Cam Hayward's old. TJ Watt is getting old. Their secondary, they need secondary help. They got Joey Porter Jr., and I don't even know who's on the other side. But Field, again, I understand Fields needs weapons, but Fields needs a running game. And so that's the dilemma is where do you look at Pittsburgh and say, if I'm on the clock at 20, they're picking 24, 25, whatever number it is. I look at that and I'm like, if I'm Pittsburgh, where do I go? I mean, I know a lot's going to depend on free agency, obviously, and this is a very premature conversation, but I like to start premature because I just do it because this is what we're going to be doing for the next couple months because I enjoy it. This is the best time of the season for me, actually. So as I look at a team like Pittsburgh, and I'm not picking on Pittsburgh. Yeah, whatever. Shut up, Sean. I don't know if you wrote that or not. Listen, I'm 55 years old. If I even get to premature, I'm lucky. So listen, I'm just. But anyway, that being said, you want to give me shit, I'll just give it right back. I can take it. But again, I look at a team like Pittsburgh, and Eric, I'm not picking on your team. I'm just talking about it just because it's a team with many needs. And I just look at, historically Pittsburgh goes defense in round one, whether it's linebacker or whatever. And if I'm going Pittsburgh's traditional route, first of all, I think quarterback Kenny Pickett burned them on the thought process of drafting a quarterback in the middle to the end of the first round because that didn't work out very well. And so I'm just trying to get a gauge on where they go. I mean, again, I think their other cornerback situation needs to be addressed. I mean, they got Porter Jr., but then they got, I don't even know who their other cornerback is. Who? Oh, I thought you said something.
All I know is that Pittsburgh is going to eternally be 9-8, 10-7, lose first round of playoffs. They're stuck in the middle right now. And you're right, because they're where they have to draft, they would be well served by having one shitty year to pick up somebody good.
They got Dante Jackson. They think they traded him from Carolina
Oh, okay.
on the other side. But they got two good rookies that came in too.
Oh,
Trice should
oh
be.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Trice should be good. So
Yeah,
and
didn't
then
he
you
get
got
hurt?
Beanie Bishop.
Yeah, I know Trice got hurt. That's right. That's why he came back in late, right? I think he got hurt in like week 5 or 6, and then he came back towards the end of the year. But one more name that's interesting to float around here, just while we're doing this, and we talked about the big name edge rusher and Myles Garrett, but you know what would be interesting to me? And we talked about Detroit and having another guy on the outside opposite Aiden Hutchinson. And again, we got to see how Aiden Hutchinson comes back from his injury. It was ACL or whatever. I think it was one of those ACL.
Gruesome.
Yeah, whatever it was. But a guy like Khalil Mack going to Detroit opposite Aiden Hutchinson for a year or two.
Linebacker.
Yeah, he's an edge rusher. He's a linebacker. He's a edge. He's a Von Miller type guy. He's a linebacker by position, but he's an edge rusher. I mean, he's a down lineman. He's an end. He's a D end linebacker.
Okay.
He doesn't cover. He doesn't do. He just gets on the line and he rushes the passer. That's all. That's the only thing he's ever done in the NFL. He rushes the passer. So again, that would be interesting in Detroit.
Yeah, I just don't know if
Oh, go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say I don't see why the Chargers would let him go unless he wanted to go from the
He's
Chargers.
a free agent.
Yeah, but they got Zadarius Smith already. They traded for him.
But isn't Zadarius Smith the free agent?
Not until next year.
Oh, okay.
Now, they very much well could say, "Hey, look, man, we thank you for your service. We don't need you no more." I don't see them doing that, considering that he came in and he was a good compliment. So I would imagine they would keep what they got, especially until Aiden Hutchinson comes back. So,
Well, yeah, I forgot about Zadarius Smith. That's right. So why would you sign somebody when you got a guy under contract for another year anyway? So yeah, no, that makes sense. I get it. No, I forgot about Zadarius Smith. But there are a couple good edge rushers out there. Mac, Hassan Riddick, DeMarcus Lawrence. Again, guys who can plug in for a year or two and get through. Let me see. Let me look at one more thing here.
Did I interrupt the thought, or are we thinking of a new topic?
No, I'm going to ask you, Katie, about Cooper Kupp. Would he fit Baltimore?
You pushing somebody out because you got Bateman, and then you have unless they're saying no to Nelson Aguilar. If they say no to Nelson Aguilar, absolutely.
Well, I mean, if it didn't cost me a lot and the Rams were keeping salary and I had a choice between Nelson Aguilar or Cooper Kupp, I don't think that would be a decision that would take me but 30 seconds to make.
Yeah, but you got also understand the cap is the thing.
Oh, well, again, yeah, and no, it is, but again.
But the last thing you got to look at too is what you talked about. You got to prove to me that you're healthy, because if I go off of what you did 2 years ago or 3 years ago, then damn Odell was the top 10 wide receiver when he came, and we all know that wasn't the truth.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I got you. But again, I think the one thing that Cooper did at the end of this season is not necessarily from a durability standpoint, because again, we didn't he came back from injury in the season, but I mean, he's definitely capable. So capability wise, yes, it's there. The durability is the issue. The one thing that's going to happen, like I was telling Sean before you came on, is any team that's going to be trading for a Cooper Kupp, the Rams are going to be taking a significant portion of his salary, because they're not going to trade up, give up draft picks, and take $23 million in a cap hit. That's just not going to happen. I think any team that did that is committing malpractice to their organization. You're not going to do that. So any team trading is going to be, the Rams are going to be retaining probably at least 2/3 of that salary, I would say. And again, the more they retain, the higher compensation they're going to get. So, depending on the team, if you're a team, like I say, if you're a team like Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, any of those teams that need a wide receiver, you can afford to give up like a late third, a late fourth, a late fifth in that area, because the return you're going to get on the investment of a Cooper Kupp, if he's healthy, is going to outweigh any of the draft picks you give up third, fourth, fifth. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, it comes down to that durability issue that like you said and I said. So, and Mike, I got to answer this for you because this is not happening. Higgins or Davis to Baltimore, that would make absolutely zero sense to me, because you're going to be bringing in a high-priced wide receiver. A T. Higgins to Baltimore doesn't make sense to me, because you have Zay Flowers, who stretches the field. Rashad Bateman is an underrated wide receiver who throughout the year has made plays. He's a touchdown catcher. He gets open in that offense because of the running game. He finds the spots, open spots, and gives Lamar Jackson the target that he needs. So to go out and spend that kind of money it's going to take to bring in a T. Higgins, I don't think it makes financial sense for Baltimore to do that. KD, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm wrong? Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah, you wrong. Hell yeah, you wrong. Listen, big body wide receivers in the red zone are a damn must. They are a must. Guys that I can't fight off running the slant, guys I can't defend on the fade, guys that just, hey, look, they're going to get theirs, right? If they get down to the red zone, the Mike Evans of the world, those guys get theirs, right? And any team would be foolish not to give them what they're going to give them. Now this is the key, though. Maybe not long term, right? But if you're sitting there saying, hey, my Super Bowl window is open and I'm trying to get in it and maximize my opportunity, I got to go do it. And now what I mean by this is I'm not saying go give him $30 million a year. But if we can get him the happy medium somewhere 15 to 19 million for a year, I'm good. Let's go do it.
And Eric, just for your information, if T. Higgins does sign in Baltimore, somebody's going to get pushed out, which means Nelson Aguilar is going to look great in black and gold. He's going to be standing tall next to Von Jefferson and Calvin Austin. That is a wide receiver trio you got going on there.
Hey, he was trying to make Miles Borkin an all-pro.
Real quick, guys. I just want to quick show this clippy there.
Miles Boykin. Wait, you showing a clip? Uh-oh. Sean's in deep thought.
Screaming at his kids and sitting there and things like that. So I ran to the back door, see if it was open, and it was. I ran upstairs, and then I was greeted with smoke. I ran back downstairs. By that time, the ladder truck was pulling up. And ironically, then one of my old coworkers took the ladder off the truck, raised it up, and was assisting people down. My man just started throwing babies out the window. We was catching them, unlike Aguilar and Haps. I like to put that out there.
Sorry, had to do it. Had to do it because I keep telling you guys about that quote. But yeah, not like Aguilar. So yeah, he's expendable. Real quick, because I'm gonna get off here because we're kind of like draining the bottom of the barrel for time to talk about, but you guys can drain as much as you want. David, who is your definitive pick to win Super Bowl 59?
My definitive pick is I'm standing by Philadelphia. I just think they're overall. I think they have too much talent offensively and defensively. As a storyline, I'd love for Kansas City to three-peat and be the team that does it, especially since they're AFC champs and they beat my team. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I just think Philadelphia is too overall talented. But I do give the coaching advantage to Kansas City. I believe that there's any coaching staff that can overcome anything like that. I believe it's Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo. But I just think that team is too well-rounded talent-wise. So I'm still sticking with Philadelphia to win this game. It's going to be a close game, and I just hope the refs stay out of the way, like you said. I just hope it's a clean game.
All right. Eric has picked Kansas City. KD, who is your definitive pick to win Super Bowl 59?
I'm going Philly, man. I just think they got too much defensively. We hadn't even really talked about a lot of stuff they got on offense. I just think their defense is going to give them more opportunities than Kansas City wants them to have.
Paoli, ask me. We all know you said at the beginning of the year, before the season even started, Paoli said Philadelphia is going to go to the Super Bowl and win it before the season even started. So
I wonder if Eric leaked him the script.
Might have, or I may be the dyslexic drunk, but Eric's just dyslexic because whatever script he's reading, it don't ever fucking work out when he's picking games. So anyway, so either I will tie with one of our biggest fans, Paoli, for the picks for games for the year, or I will win because I am going Kansas City.
I do want to ask one question though from Eric. I want to know what script you were reading that said the Jets were going to go 14-3. I still want to see that script because you need to call that guy and have him fired because that script is shit. So
also now you got to remember this same script had the Pittsburgh Steelers making the AFC Championship and losing to them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Man, I'm telling you. You know what? I know. They wrote this script during the writer's strike, and it was a scab writer who decided to write the script. So that's what happened, Eric. I'm gonna give you a pass. I know the Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Association was on strike, so they had to bring in amateur script writers for the NFL. So,
all right. So now all I have to do is get Jeff's pick for the Super Bowl, which I can get. Because I have to message him personally because you guys keep clouding up the business chat.
Well, he'll probably pick Philly, but then he'll say, I don't give a shit because I'm not watching it anyway.
Probably.
But
so I'm not going to go into anything stupid else like, what is Taylor Swift going to wear? Don't really care.
If anybody wants to go on DraftKings, I'm sure the over-under for shots of Taylor Swift in the suite is probably 4.5. So bet the over.
Yeah, I'm okay with it because you know what? I'd rather see that than some of the commercials they put out. So yeah. It is what it is. I know, KD, way too bony for you. That's you're looking for something the size of a turkey, and that's like a Cornish game hen. We I know that.
But wait, I do have one thing though.
Oh God.
And it's a Fox game, so what I'm going to wonder is who gets more airtime. Is it going to be Taylor Swift or is it going to be Donald Trump? Because with Donald Trump going to the game and it being on Fox, it might be a fight. It might be a struggle between Trump and Swift. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that.
You do realize there's a difference between Fox News and Fox Television Network, right?
What's that?
There's a difference between Fox News and Fox Television Network, you idiot.
I don't care.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
they're not gonna put
hey,
Trump
hey,
on that.
hey, Dave, don't let them trick you. Car Fox is part of that too.
Oh my God. Dear God. Please, you know what? No. You had to stop bringing politics into the shit.
It has nothing to do with politics. It's not politics. I just said who was going to be shown more. I didn't say nothing about politics.
Trump ain't going to go to the goddamn. He's not going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he is. He's going to the game.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Oh
Trump's going to be at the game.
Okay. All right. So
I'm not bringing politics into this. I just said who was going to be shown. I didn't say whose policies would be shown in Fox.
Oh my God.
Fox and Hound.
Sean, one day before what I want you
the
to
Red
do,
Fox.
Red Fox.
Yeah, Red Fox has more chance of showing up at the game than Donald Trump.
Listen, what I want you to do on our next show,
Vivica Fox.
I want you to come out here. I want you to be on this.
Michael
screen.
J. Fox.
Amy Fox. Fox and the Hound.
You're going to make it come up my notes. So what the fuck do you want me to do,
Fox
David?
Brown. What I want you to do is, just so the people can really see this, I want you to come out on a single screen, and I want you to give us a Jon Stewart monologue, because I'm going to tell y'all something. If I put a picture, a frozen picture next to Sean on a single screen, that is Sean's doppelganger. You are Jon Stewart, and the way you talk and your mannerisms and your dry sense of humor, you two are identical. And you could, if you are him, dude, I swear to God. Every time I watch Jon Stewart, I'm like, that's fuck Sean. That's like Sean sitting on our show. Just
Well,
Yep.
Dave, I appreciate that very much. And except for the hair and the money,
well,
yeah, and the only thing I got over Jon Stewart is about 8 inches in height, but he's got a lot more hair and a lot more money than I'll ever dream of. So,
he's getting older. The hairline's receding, just like yours and mine. So, I mean,
He could just buy some more.
yeah.
So with that being said, there probably will be no monologue. Actually, there probably will, because if David has an update with his Dell computer, he'd probably be 20 minutes late. I'll be the only one here.
I'm ordering an HP tonight, so.
But hopefully, yeah. And remember, just make it cheap and just get plenty of RAM and just don't get a Dell and you'll be fine, because we were about to throw out the GoFundMe account for David. So, okay. Does anyone have anything else pertinent? Because if you guys want to keep talking, I can get off and you guys keep going. But I got some potato leek and ham soup coming, man, and it smells
pertinent. I think we covered a lot. I do want to say, after the Super Bowl, we'll do our show. We'll do the recap. But I'm just going to task all of you guys that, remember, it's going to be off-season mode after this. So start brushing up on free agents, start brushing up on that, because we're going to get right back into it, because you're going to have the combine coming up. And February 27th is the combine?
Youth fuckers need to get brushed up on college players. That's what we need to first start talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
I want to hear, we're taking a black guy from Wisconsin. What's his name?
Mohammed Ali.
I know Flip Wilson. He's that linebacker from
Nipsey Russell.
Isn't that him, Flip Wilson?
Oh,
No?
Kevin McNeil. Like,
Oh, okay. See?
right. See what I'm saying?
He doesn't even have a black name, so I can't even. If I search up black names, I did Kevin McNeil. That's not. I mean,
this is what I deal with right here, Sean.
it's like, what's your name? Tim. Tim Smith. Okay, I don't know. Okay, but no, seriously, we'll start looking at the combine because the combine's coming up, so we'll start getting ready. Go over your Senior Bowl rosters and make sure that we know who we're talking about.
Senior Bowl happened last fucking week, dude.
Well, that's what I mean. But I know when it happened. I'm talking about go over them because those are going to be a lot of the guys at the combine getting ready for the draft, and that's what we got to get ready for. Start going over.
You just want to watch the meat market.
No, I don't want to watch the underwear Olympics.
You do.
The only time I ever watch the combine is I want to see if Rich Eisen can ever break, 10-second 40. That's all I'm concerned about.
He broke the 6-second 40.
He broke a 6?
Yeah, he broke a 6 3 years ago.
Wow. He must have trained all year for that one.
The only thing that pisses me off is he took off his shoes and he put on cleats.
Oh.
Because the first bunch of times he did it, he was doing it in dress shoes.
Yeah.
And that makes it.
I mean, when you're running in dress shoes and a suit, I mean, damn.
But you know how much money he raises? Is it for cancer?
Oh, gee. No. Look at Eric. I'd smoke you all, dude.
Oh, my God.
Whatever.
It takes you 78 steps to take for one of mine, and I'm a smoker.
Hey, I will say this, dude. I could probably run faster than Eric, but the issue that I would have is when he would come out wearing what the hell he wears to the gym, I'd be laughing my ass off, which would give him a definite head start. So
those Pittsburgh Steeler pants that are supposed to
I
be
could show pictures, folks. I got the
yoga
proof.
pants, but they look like baggy jeans. Yeah, those. Okay. All right, enough bashing on Eric. I love Eric.
I know.
Give him shit.
I do like his tassels though that he wears on his. He's got some tassels on his tank top.
Nipples?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's
doesn't
got
have-
like a macho man,
All right, so before because
whose meat will fall out of. Paoli issued a challenge. He wants to know whose meat will fall out on the 40. That's an embarrassing thing. Remember last year the dude was running and his junk came out the side of his shorts.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
I
man.
will tell you one thing, and this is what I can guarantee that Rich Eisen, being a fellow member of the race, that's not going to happen to Rich Eisen. So if there's an over/under on Rich Eisen, take the under because it can't go over. So anyway,
Wait, can we just do one more thing because now that all the head coaching positions I think are full, right?
There's one more.
Well, the Saints, but that's going to Cullen Moore. They're just waiting for Philly to be done. Okay. Otherwise, that would have been filled. So I think Cullen Moore's getting that job. So on a thumbs up, thumbs down, the Raiders, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Pete Carroll, thumbs up. KD.
Okay. Yeah. Chicago, Ben Johnson, thumbs up or thumbs down? I'm like this.
Yeah, I'm middle. I'm not giving him either way.
I'm not.
Well, the only reason why, because have you seen his staff he's building?
Oh, yeah, no, I have. And it's good. Again, you got to get the horses, and you hope you get the horses, and you have a quarterback, and hopefully he can do what he can do with Caleb Williams.
Is it compared to Eberflus? That's 2 thumbs up.
Well, I mean, it can only be up, I guess. I mean,
okay. Next one, David.
Next one, New York Jets, thumbs up, thumbs down. I like Aaron Glenn, and I like his staff. Again, I think that's going to depend on what he does. But I like the hire because I know what I like about Glenn is he knows the culture in New York. He's a former player there. So I think he knows what it takes to succeed there. Again, as a coach, we'll see what happens if he can get 17-0.
Questionable hires, which is why I give them the E, and it's the fucking Jets. I don't care. You could put Jesus Christ as coach of the Jets, and they will still be the fucking Jets.
Right. So Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh God.
Duval. He can't even say Duval right. Duval. That's a double down, man. I mean,
that was shit.
And the Saints with Kellen Moore, I don't like Kellen Moore at all.
They got a quarterback problem.
Yeah, well, and I don't think Kellen Moore's a good coach. So I brought that up to say this. Rex Ryan was positive that he was going to be the head coach of the New York Jets. And poor Rex Ryan got the big thumbs down by everybody. So it's unfortunate. And in all actuality, being a Bills fan, I would love nothing more than Sean McDermott concentrate on being a head coach and bringing in an autonomous defensive coordinator and let him run it off a defense. Because Sean McDermott's defense does not get it done when it needs to. So I would love Buffalo to hire Rex Ryan as their defensive coordinator. That'd be fantastic. It's never going to happen, but I think that's the one area that Buffalo needs to do to get over the hump. You can't continue to play this defense. It's not working. When you average 30 points every time in the playoffs, and against the Chiefs in particular, and I know you can't coach for just one team because you're playing different teams, but when you play the Chiefs and you're 0-4 and you average 30 points a game and your defense gives up 34 points a game, it's a problem. And you got to solve that problem. And that's hire a defensive coordinator that runs his own defense and let the head coach be the head coach, period.
Sorry, did I miss Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, the Cowboys? Who did they hire?
Schottenheimer.
That's perfect. Who did they hire?
Oh, yeah, Schottenheimer.
Who did they hire?
Yeah. A yes man. I don't know.
Jerry Jones came out and said, people think I'm going to put a yes man in this position.
Do you
I'm
think
not.
this?
But I said, hey, do you want to be head coach of the Cowboys? He said yes. And I was like, okay, that sounds good to me.
Do you think this is a one and done coach? Do you think this was a hire to wait for the coach that he wants to be ready to come out and coach?
I think this is the most disappointing owner to ever walk the face of the earth. Came in, boom, first 5 years, wins 3 Super Bowls. Hasn't done anything since for a team like a proud team like the Cowboys.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think maybe Deion Sanders wasn't ready to commit to the NFL yet?
Deion Sanders is not
he's
meant to be
waiting?
an NFL coach, period. He's not.
You're not going to give Deion the keys to your team. You got to understand this.
Sure.
Look, I'm $1 billion industry. I'm a $1 billion organization. I'm not going to give a guy keys to my organization, and then next thing you know, Sexy Red is showing up in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just not going to happen. So again, the thing about this is, for me, is I think Deion got to go to the right situation with the right owner. If he don't go to the right situation with the right owner, yeah, it's not going to happen.
So really quick, let me just say this about Deion Sanders. In college, it's going to work out. Kids are young. They don't know Deion. Deion was an amazing player. Deion did not like to tackle. And in his Hall of Fame speech, he was talking about, my critics said, I didn't like to tackle. I tackled my mom's bills. And he did. But how can you have a player who admits they didn't give it their all in some games, in some situations, to try to get these professionals to give their all on every single play and to win every single and that's the problem with Deion.
I get it, but the thing about Deion Sanders is, you could question his tackling or lack thereof, and everybody saw it; it was evident. But there were so many things that he did that were phenomenal that you could overlook those, because it was few and far between that it was up to Deion to make that tackle. Deion was the guy that if he was 10 yards away from the wide receiver and the quarterback throwing the ball, he could make up that 10 yards in like half a second. And so, like I said, he didn't like to tackle. Obviously, he didn't want to get injured. He wanted to have a long career. He wanted to do those things. But Deion was just such a generational talent at the cornerback position that people overlooked that because of the greatness and everything else he did. Just like, like a Lamar Jackson, a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes even. They'll throw an interception and then they'll chase the guy down and try to make a tackle. Whereas other quarterbacks will throw an interception, Tom Brady, the GOAT, and he'll turn around and run to the sideline or run away from it because, okay, I threw the interception, I made the mistake, but I'm not going to kill myself trying to tackle a linebacker.
Jesus Christ. You're going to start this up with Eric and Roethlisberger, but go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Roethlisberger made no mistakes, man. He made that shoestring tackle on the fumble and blah, 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 which was
totally
great.
Understand what you're saying, David.
Mm-hmm.
But Deion had one thing that a lot of these kids don't, is pure talent.
Sure.
And anyone who makes the NFL has pure talent. But it's that I got to do this.
Right.
I got to.
Well, again, I think he coaches different than that. I think he coaches his players a different way than, whatever. I mean, if a player came up to Deion and said, why are you giving me shit because you didn't tackle? Deion probably smack him upside his head. And you know what I mean? I mean, it's just one of those things where, but you're not me. He'd be like, you're not me. Okay. You don't have what I had. So because you don't have that, you need to tackle. I didn't have to deal with that as much because I was able to make the play 8 out of 10 times where you make that play 3 out of 10 times. So your ass better tackle. But to Katie's point, I don't think Jerry Jones is handing the keys over to anybody. Jerry Jones will never hand the keys over to any coach that wants any power. He did that with Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson won him a Super Bowl, and he thought that he could do it without him. And for the last 30 some odd years, he's been proven wrong. So, and Jerry Jones is a billionaire, proud man, and he ain't going to turn the keys over to anybody because he doesn't want to be proven wrong again. So that's right. Just
I'm trying to look at Deion's career receptions real quick, but nah.
His receptions or interceptions?
Interceptions.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, I'm not getting them, but
hold on, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Because Aaron Glenn, I do like Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn, he was a Jet. I think he's going to instill something in my Jets, but As a Jet fan, you can't. You could have Nick Mangold come out and coach the offensive line, and Gastineau coach the defensive line. I do think him working with Dan Campbell is going to help him a lot. So anyway, wow.
Hold
40
on.
minutes ago,
I'm
like,
getting
we're
it.
done.
I'm getting it.
Apparently sending me a message.
He had
Oh, dear God. Paoli, fuck you.
he had 53 career interceptions, 1,331 yards, and 9 interceptions returned for touchdowns.
Oh, my God. Okay, yeah.
And,
Eric Leonard, 24, which I thought was a lot.
and tackles,
Well, as a Jet, he had 24.
he had 512 combined tackles with 254 solo tackles.
That's not bad. Right? For a defensive back, that's not bad.
And 4 tackles for loss. So,
Rod Woodson was better. Oh, God, here we go. Fucking.
well, yeah, if Deion Sanders was a safety, sure. But Rod, oh, God. I know Katie's shaking that.
This is what the business chat looks like every day. God damn it! All right. So with that being said, does anyone have anything else?
No, we're good, man.
All right. So maybe I'm going to get drunk enough on Sunday before the game and be like, "Hey, David, let's go on for a half hour and talk about the game. Let's get KD." You never know what's going to happen. It's crazy.
Right. Hey.
So anyway.
Maybe I'll put the game on the channel until we get suspended.
No, see, that's the beauty of it. We don't.
Jeffrey does.
So
that's awesome.
Why not
I
simulcast?
can't use my Facebook for 7 days, you sons of bitches.
Oh, dear God. All right, so Paoli is a Go Birds. The only reason why I'm going for Kansas City is because of the bet Paoli and I have had for years and years, and I'm 54.
Hey, Paoli, real quick before we go, does Sean have to wear the thong and sing the song too?
No, it's just got to be the picture.
You got to sing the thong song, man.
He's already sent me the fucking video, and he just sent me one with the minion walking with the thong, and it's
man, you got to come on and sing it. You better learn the words.
No, there's no live. It's just a picture. That's it.
No.
24 hours and a picture.
Oh man,
believe me, it's brutal.
Oh, you got to put that up on Facebook.
It has to be your profile picture for 24 hours.
Dave is like licking his chops, like, oh shit.
Dude, as soon as that goes up, man,
I'm gonna be fucking happy. Oh my God.
That is gonna be our new FTC logo on our weekly show. It's gonna be Sean's ass in a thong.
Oh my God. I am calling your wife and telling her to get a lot of Clorox wipes because your phone is going to be sticky for a couple of days. Oh,
like I said, I'm over 55. I don't know if I could do that.
That's okay. I'm 54 and I really can't, so we're good. Anyway, everyone, have a good night. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I know we don't want this isn't our ideal matchup. But you know what? Eat some chicken wings, drink some beer, enjoy some company. It should be a competitive game. And that's really all we do want from a Super Bowl is to be competitive and just be happy about it.
I'm going to say it one time. Fly, Eagles, fly. I will say it this once.
Okay, there you go. KD, your parting thoughts because you never get to speak.
Hey, look, just because you're not at the Super Bowl, this message still applies. If you can't fight, don't fight. If you feel like you're about to fight, you probably need to leave. If you're with somebody that's about to take an ass whooping, you probably need to exit stage left.
Yeah, thank you, KD.
And my last thought, I'm going to summon my inner Chuck Schumer. This is a Corona. This is an avocado. They will be more expensive at your Super Bowl party. I didn't want to bring politics into it, Sean, just for you.
Oh my God. So if you're wondering where this bald spot comes from, I did not have this until I met David and started doing the show.
And just so y'all know, this was not a Corona and this is not an avocado.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in this whole year. It's been a fantastic year. We can't wait to recap it next week. Maybe we'll be on right before Super Bowl. We'll see how things work out. But otherwise, may your team win and have a great Super Bowl. Be safe. And as Katie said, don't get into these stupid fights because if you do, you're an idiot. Okay.
Yep.
So with that being said, we
Enjoy
will
your
see
Super
you.
Bowl. We'll see you next week. Get ready for the off season.
And we'll see you next week from where, David?
From the couch.